Hello, to all my fellow survivors. How are you guys doing today? I hope well. So today I am going to do a video on how to heal from NPD abuse, and I'm going to give 3 tips on how to heal from NPD abuse. I know how hard it is. I've been going through it for some months now. I've been guided out of that relationship for some months now. So my healing process, it's going slow, but I still believe that I am a lot better when I was freshly out. I believe I am a lot better. And before I get into these tips, I would also like to explain certain things that you may be experiencing, which is depending on how severe your abuse was. And also, I also want to let people know that if you were dealing with NPD abuse and there was no physical abuse present, that does not mean that you didn't deal with a severe case. I just want you to know that, because a lot of people, they feel like if you weren't getting slapped and beat up, then you didn't deal with a severe case. Okay. I may go in and out because I still have small children, like I always say. So please, you guys, don't get irritated with me. Sometimes I have to cut my camera off like abruptly because my kids are screaming. But anyways, if you didn't deal with being beat up, black eyes, and busted lips, and to be honest with you, covert narcissists, they really don't. If you were dealing with a covert, not an overt, covert narcissists, they're not going to give you bruises, because bruises tells the story too much. They like to keep their dirt on the under, so they're not going to give you bruises because that's just too much. Okay, that's just like, they won't be able to hide anything if you showed up to church with a big black eye. Coverts, they hide underneath masks. So I don't want to say I can't say covert narcissists are never physically abusive, but I definitely would know that they don't like anything to be on the outward. They like to keep their dirt inside of their home. So yes. So I just want you ladies and men to know, just because you're not getting slapped up, that does not mean you did not deal with a severe case of abuse. Like I've said before, I feel like, and I'm not downing physical abuse at all because it's horrible, but emotional, mental abuse, it's very, very, it has a strong impact as well. If you deal with somebody that just hit you in the face and you're waiting for your black eye to heal, that can only take like a few weeks. But when you've been dealing with the emotional abuse for 6 years and more, that's going to take years and years of healing. So just know, emotional and mental abuse is very, very, very impactful on your body, on your brain, your spirit, your soul. It's a very, very serious thing, and I don't want it to be downplayed, because I've heard this before. Did he hit you in the face? And you say no, and then people think that you're overreacting. But just know, you're not overreacting. If you're dealing with emotional abuse on a day-to-day basis, no, that is something serious, and you should know that you're in a serious situation, and it's time for you to. And another thing that will happen when you have been in a very toxic relationship and you're freshly out of it is that you will be suffering from PTSD. And some symptoms is just being very brain fogged, not being able to make any kind of decisions, forgetting the simplest things, shaking, trembling, just daydreaming, being very irritable. And me, I was definitely suffering from PTSD, and I had 3 small children, including a newborn. I had I believe Mama was 2 months. I had a 2-month-old baby to take care of, so I couldn't be stuck in agony for too long, so I had to pull myself up. But I just wanted to let you guys know that it is serious. It's no joke to be. So yeah, healing is definitely important. It's hard, but it's important. So I definitely had to heal myself to the point where I can at least function again, you know, and I just couldn't, I couldn't sit back and be stuck. You know, I just couldn't be stuck. I'm still not fully healed, no, but I am definitely much better than what I was. Maybe, what is this? 4 or 5 months ago? Yes. I feel like I am doing a lot better. I still got some time. I'm very aware of that, but I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back because I feel like I am doing better. But let's get to the tips. 3 tips on how to heal from NPD abuse. So before I begin with the tips, I just want to say these are things that helped me. So this may not help everybody. I just want to, say that disclaimer because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, that's nothing, or I just want to say these are things that helped me heal. So number 1 is I tried to remember who I was. And what I mean by that is remember. When I say remember who I was, is I had to remember who I am. Who I am, like, remember how God made me, remember all of the good qualities about myself. Remember that, even though he, I'm saying he because it was my ex-husband, but yeah. Even though he brought you down, even though he made you feel like you weren't nothing, you weren't good enough, you have to remember your qualities. And just because he didn't appreciate those qualities doesn't mean that you can't appreciate them, your family can appreciate them, maybe a future spouse can appreciate them. Just remember who you are. Remember what makes you special. Because even though he tried to take that joy away from you, and he tried to take your qualities away from you and drain you for your energy, that doesn't mean they're still not there. Yeah, he took from you at the moment. He was, he did, but he didn't break you. He didn't break you, and you're still special. You're still loving. You're still caring. You're still nurturing. You still like to do good by people. You still love to cook. You still love to do those wonderful things that somebody can appreciate. So you have to remember who you are, because when you were in that relationship, all they shed light on was your flaws. They never really shed light on anything that was good about you because they were so busy trying to bring you down to their level the whole relationship. It's like you could get lost in all that toxicity and forget who you are. But you got to remember who you are. You have to remember who you are. Write it down. What are some good qualities about myself? Write them down and look at them every morning and know who you are and know that you are somebody special. And don't let nobody tell you that you're not. No matter what you're going through, I'm just gonna put my business out there. I'm not as stable as I would like to, I did have to go from family member house to family member that because my home was taken away from me, So I did have to go from place to place with my children. And that was not easy for me. But what kept me going is me remembering who the hell I was and how, I don't want to cry, y'all. I don't want to cry. But I had to remember who the hell I was and how I still have a life to live. And I'm not going to let anybody take my good qualities away from me, the qualities that God gave me, because God gave me this, God made me this way. And I know I'm not a perfect person, but I'm a good person. And I know I have a lot to offer to somebody, to my family, to my children, to myself. And I'm not going to let nobody, not one single itty bitty person, tell me that I'm nothing and that I'm not deserving of a pleasant life. So you got to look in that mirror, and even if you're not where you want to be, like me, I'm not where I want to be physically, as far as, I would like to shed a few more pounds. I like to have like the little flat belly back, I would love that. But you got to still look in that mirror and tell yourself, it's not over. It is not over. And you still got a life to live. Anything that you see about yourself that you don't like, you can fix it. You can fix it. And all those wonderful qualities that you were blessed with is still there. So you have to look in that mirror and you have to say, I'm still somebody. I am somebody. I don't want to sound like political or anything, but you have to. You have to understand that you are still somebody. I'm telling you. So that's my number 1 tip. Remember who the hell you are. Number 2 is pray and stay close to God. That helped me out so much, you guys. I was just getting out of a religious group. They have very, very strict rules. And one of the rules that they they talk about is for you're not supposed to leave your spouse unless they die and things like that. Even though my spouse left me, he discarded me. But I did feel like I did walk away, and I wouldn't accept him back in my life at all. So since I knew that I wasn't accepting him back in my life no matter what, there was a part of me that felt like that God wasn't going to love me anymore because I made that decision. But I stayed close to God, and I felt the presence of angels and the Lord, and it kept me so grounded that no matter what I was going through, that I kept my spirituality. I kept my spirituality no matter what. I prayed every day. And I'm not going to lie, I was doubting my relationship with the Lord so much because of, I'm going to just say my old beliefs. Those are, not all of those are my beliefs anymore. I just have to come to terms with that. But they were when I was freshly out of it. I still believed in their doctrine. I still believed in it very, very much. So I knew that I just couldn't understand exactly what was going on in my life, because a lot of the doctrine that I believed in, I felt like my ex believed in, and he was going against it. So it was just crazy. But I made sure that I stayed prayed up, that I cried out to the Lord. I kept my spirituality. You know, I felt the presence of the Lord. And I know it sounds funny to some people that may not be religious or whatever, but for those of you that are, and you're dealing with toxicity and you still have strong beliefs in the Lord, you can easily feel like the Lord let you down, or he's not with you because you're going through that. No, some things you're going through, oh my God, I'm feeling this. Okay, some things you're going through is because the Lord is there and he's teaching you a lesson. And I just want you guys to know, if you're going through hell because God is letting you go through that so that you can learn a lesson, if you make it through and you learn that lesson, only God knows the good things that's going to come to your life after you learned that lesson. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants you to ascend. He wants you to be a better person. He wants you to be loved back, especially if you're in unrequited love. Unrequited love is not fair. It's not fair. You shouldn't be giving someone all of you, every piece of you, and not getting anything in return. That's not fair. And God loves you. He doesn't want you to deal with that, So just know that if you're going through this hell because God wants you to go through it right now so that you can learn a lesson, that should just give you so much comfort. Because I know it gives me so much comfort just knowing that, okay, I went through 6 years of fucking craziness, but God was there. My angels was there, and they definitely had my back. Can't nobody ever tell me my angels didn't have my back. My angels have my back to the fullest. They've revealed things to me about my spouse that he hasn't even told me. And but I know. So I'm going to change the subject because I don't want to go too deep into spirituality. But yes, keep your relationship with the Lord. You got to keep your relationship with the Lord, because he is going to give you the ultimate comfort. Just knowing that there's a higher power that's over this, it would give you so much comfort. I'm telling you, pray. Just pray. It would give you the ultimate comfort, because you're not going to have nobody. You have your family and friends, yeah, but they're not going to fully understand what you're going through. They're going to be there. They're going to help you as much as they can, but they're not going to fully understand what you're going through. But the higher power understands. He understands, and he's going to give you the closure that you need if you stay close to him, because your ex isn't going to give you closure, because narcissists, they don't like to give you closure, because they always like to leave room for them to hoover their way back. And if they don't plan on hoovering you back, they just want to leave you broken, because they don't want you to get better. They don't want you to get better. They don't. They're demonic. Okay? They're demonic. They don't want you to get better. They will, if they would get a phone call that you in a tent somewhere, they'll be like, well, she should have listened. That's the type of stuff that they would do. So just understand that God is going to give you all the comfort, the closure that you need. So make sure you stay close to your spirituality. Okay. And number 3 is I stayed looking forward to the future. Before I continue, you guys, my children are at the table eating, so you may hear a little bit of noise. But yes, I stay looking forward to the future. And what I mean by that is just prepare for your future. You know, I have young children. You know, some of you may not have any children. If you don't have any children, go out and do something to prepare for your future. If you're in a situation like me where, you know, you may not be able to just go out and do something at the moment, you know, maybe like a childcare or something, just stay looking forward to the future. You know, when you think of your future, make sure that it's making you smile. You know, manifest some things. Just stay looking forward to your future. You know, just know that you have brighter days ahead of you. And when you think of your future, make sure that it's making you smile. You know that you're not going to accept that narc back. You're not going to accept toxic friends back. You know, God's going to bring you more healthier people because you're ascending to a more healthier, mentally healthier person. So you're going to naturally attract a more mentally healthier person. So when you think of who you're becoming, just it should bring you comfort. It should make you smile. Like, look forward to your future because you have a bright future ahead of you. You do. Especially if you stayed grounded. You didn't let your ex-narc break you. You stayed grounded. You stayed true to who you are. You kept your relationship with the Lord. Why shouldn't you look forward to your future? You're still a dope-ass person. You have good things ahead of you. You know? And the number one thing that should make you happy is you don't have to deal with his ass no more, girl. Or you don't have to deal with her ass anymore. She gone, okay? Your life. I mean, if you have kids, you know, one day you're going to have to deal with them again. You know, you are. But it's not going to be on that, like, he doesn't have that. Like, you can literally just say, hi, you know, and keep it pushing. He doesn't have that emotional connection to you right now. Like, you can care less about what he's doing. You know, he out there messing with other women. You don't care. You know, he's out there still spreading rumors on your name. You don't care. You know, he's out there, you know, probably not even really doing all that well. You don't care. Because you're looking forward to your future. He doesn't have that hold on you anymore. So that is a great thing because when he was in your life was hell. Let's just keep it 100. I mean, I'm not going to say you didn't have any good days. I'm sure you guys, especially if you were in a long-term relationship. But at the end of the day, it was emotional abuse. It was manipulation. It was gaslighting. It was hoovering. It was devaluing. It was smearing your name. It was all types of shit throughout the whole relationship. And you don't have to deal with that anymore. Yes, just stay looking forward to the future. And as you're looking forward to the future, I'm telling you, it will help you heal. Because just having something to be happy about and appreciate and, you know, stay having gratitude, be thankful for the things that you have, even if you don't have a lot. Be thankful for it. Yes, so just thank the Lord that you have been divinely guided out of that situation. And God's seen you worthy of a clean slate. Because that's what he gave you. He gave you a clean slate. He's seen that you were being mistreated. And that's one thing that narcs, they don't understand, is God sees their wrongdoing. Especially in my case. My ex portrayed himself as a godly man. As a man that was trying to do right by God. And then you treated your wife that way? What? God's eyes is on you. Probably more brighter than the average person that... Because not everybody in the world is acting like they have a relationship with the Lord. Some people, they know they don't. They don't pretend to. But my ex actually, you know, pretended to be a godly person, and that's how you treat your spouse. And he knows the scriptures, you know. So, you know, the eyes of the Lord was on him, you know, a lot. So, you know, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I know I'm saying a lot about God in my video, but I call myself a spiritual person. I believe I'm spiritual. But anyways, just be happy that you have been guided out of that situation and God sees you worthy of a clean slate, you know, because he's seen that you weren't getting treated good. God's seen it and he was on your side. So just know that. Just know that. And so those are my 3 tips, you guys, on how to heal from NPD abuse. And I hope that someone out there found this video to be helpful. But you know, like I always say, while life takes its course, always remember to just breathe. Love ya.